All right, so for the integral of e to the 3x, we have to go backwards from the derivative. And if you remember, when we took the derivative of e to the 3x, it was rewrite the exponential e to the 3x, and then we multiplied that by the derivative of the exponent. And in this case, the derivative of our exponent is just 3. Now, with antiderivatives, we're going backwards, and so the opposite of multiplication is going to be division. So, of course, when we take e to the 3x, we're going to have a very similar setup. We're going to rewrite the exponential, but now instead of multiplying by the derivative of that linear exponent, we are going to divide by the derivative. We divide by 3. So in general, the rule that we have, and we only have this rule when we have an a to the x, so we have a linear term there, we can write that as e to the ax divided by a plus c. All right, the other transcendental function that we have is our natural log. And remember that when you took the derivative of the natural log of x, you got 1 over x. Now, with the antiderivative, we're going backwards. So now if I integrate 1 over x, that is going to give me the natural log of x. Now, this sometimes comes up very much in disguise when you are working on questions. So if, for example, I have 7 over x dx, you kind of look at that question and you're like, okay, well, if I was taking the derivative, I would move this x up into the numerator to get negative 1. Now, as soon as you start to apply the power rule, though, you see something weird happen. You add 1 for the power rule, and then you divide by the new exponent. But here the new exponent is 0, and we cannot divide by 0. So when that happens, when you get that 0 in the denominator, that's kind of like your little tip-off that something is amuck, something is afoot, and you need to reevaluate what your rule is. And so what happens here, I always think about if I get that 0 in the denominator, that really means that I need to use the natural log rule. So what will happen with the 7 over x rule is that you can take the 7 out in front of the integral if it helps you to see this. And when you do that, you're left with 1 over x dx. And then now this 1 over x, that becomes the natural log of x when we take the antiderivative. And then we add the plus c.